Yeah, yo. They keep coming up with new reasons for me to not watch that movie, dog. I just seen the latest addition to the James Gunn trailer. I'm like, I don't know, y'all like trying to deliberately sabotage y'all own movie with these goofy ass shots? The dude is cockeyed in the flight scene where the camera's right on his face. Yo, the dude eyes is literally wandering. And it looked like they used the CGI for his face. I don't even understand why they would use a CGI for the dude face in an image of him flying. Like, bro, like you could have just did that with a regular old. I don't know, dog. Like I said, they just keep coming up with reasons for me to not watch that movie. I already decided I wasn't gonna watch it, to be real with y'all, because it just looked too goofy. Like, nah, this don't even look like a DC movie. This look like straight CW. It don't look like a feature film. The quality you expect for a movie that had a $300 million budget. It just doesn't look like that. Anyway, what we gonna be talking about tonight? We gonna talk about some Dalton Smith. We gonna talk about some Diego Pacheco, some Steven Nelson, and this upcoming weekend's fight, the pay-per-view. Who's gonna buy it? Who isn't? Y'all already know how I feel, you know. But we just gonna gauge the room. We're gonna read the room. I don't know. I seen people having mixed opinions about Diego's performance. I don't think there was anything wrong with it personally. I don't. But we're gonna read the room. We're gonna go to the panel, take it to them. I thought it was a good performance because you can't expect it to be easy. You know that unless the guy has an easy night out all the time, that something's wrong. Like I thought he fought well, to be honest, surprisingly well for a fighter who's trained by Jose Benavidez, because none of his other fighters seem to exhibit those qualities, whereas this kid does. He can move, he can jab, he can box, good power, doesn't sell out, doesn't give up his height. He I don't know. I thought he did really well against a live opponent. But let me find out this mouse is bugging. I just bought this joint. They just don't make stuff like they used to. That's how I be feeling. They really don't make stuff like they used to. But yeah, let's open up the chat to the panel, get the link going. You know, and yeah, man. Man, they over there arguing, being as loud as possible. And yeah, man, I don't know, that movie just looks terrible to me, dog. Like the more shots they show of that movie, the more terrible it looks, man. You seen that joint, Devontae?
Yeah, I was just talking to my pops about it. I was over there watching football, and I seen. I'm like, I ain't watching that. I'm a big Superman fan. I'm a big DC guy, so I'm like, this look at his cape and everything looks corny to me.
It looks terrible, bro. And I just like it. You could kind of see that they must have used some kind of CGI for the dude face. And it's like, why would you use a CGI for that shot? Not that everybody's a director, not that everybody's a film buff, but you don't need to be to know that that's a regular shot, dog. That's a regular shot. Like you could have just put the camera right there, like Zack Snyder did. It's like,
I was
yo,
about to say that, and we seen Zack Snyder's Superman. Like he looked like Superman. The outfit and everything. This dude, like, bro, I don't know. Just the whole thing just looked off to me. I don't know.
Is he trying to sabotage it or something? Like, is he on some double eight? Because I'm like, yo, everything that comes out about this movie looks bad, dog. Like all of it. Like,
did you see Crypto? How small Crypto is? Like,
bro, the shit is that I'm 42. If I'm going to the movies, I don't need Crypto the motherfucking dog. Do you think I go to a Superman movie to see Crypto the fucking Yorkshire Terrier? Like, nah, bro. Like, I didn't need that. Like, I don't know who that's for. It's not for me.
Nah, I don't know. I'm not watching it, so I'm waiting for the next Marvel movies to come out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my fam out to see Captain America. That looks good. They gonna have the Red Hulk in that. I don't know about this Robert Downey being Dr. Doom shit. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, the fuck is this? Like,
I agree, but I'm gonna give it a chance because Robert Downey, he earned some brownie points with Iron Man and all that. So I want to see how it lands and everything. I'm gonna give it a chance.
I'll see, dog. I'll see. And what's another one that they said that I was right? They got this Spider-Man cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I like how it look. I like the style of the animation. And my only hang up, honestly, is they keep choosing to retell the same story. We know he got bit, dog. We don't need to go through that again. Like, he got bit by the spider. We've established that. Can you just like start the show that he been Spider-Man for a year, 2 years, or whatever it is? Because there's so many stories that they don't do. Like, yo, one Spider-Man's villains is kind of up there with Batman's villains. Like, he got some great villains. He got some great stories to tell. We don't need to keep going through the thing where he got bit by the spider and he's learning. We don't need to keep doing that, bro. Like, the fuck? Like, we done seen that already, bro.
1,000 times. And then they already got 3 different Spider-Mans, and each of them went through the same thing. You know?
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Shit crazy. Like, but we gonna get into it. Shout out to Gunner. Jules loved the show from East LA. Ya tu sabes, manín. Born in East LA when I seen that shit. I always wanted to go to California, man. Never did, though. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
You ever been to Vegas? You ever been to Vegas?
Bro. Nah, never been to Vegas.
Jules, go to Vegas, bro.
Gotta go to Vegas, bro. Like, these are things that I want to do, especially getting older and shit. You want to do certain shit. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to LA. Shout out to Martin Luther King Hospital. You know what I'm saying? That's when my sisters was born. They East Angelinos. I'm not. I'm a native New Yorker. It's crazy how that breaks down.
I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast. So I'm from Pennsylvania, but yeah.
I don't think most people know that my sisters is half Mexican. I just realized that I don't think they know that. But yeah, they are. Go ahead.
Are you Mexican?
I'm not.
Oh,
they are.
Oh, your sisters. Okay.
You know how I get down. You know how it is. I'm not. They are. I am. Literally.
I get what you said. I get what you said.
I ain't trying to say a lot, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
You gotta say no more. I get what you said. I mean, I was born on Martin Luther King's birthday too, so January 15th, 1995.
Capricorn, stand up, bro. We out here. We be out here, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's real shit. But what did you think of Diego yesterday? Because I see different shit that I don't agree with either side of it. I think he looked good. Didn't think he looked great. But I thought he looked good in the sense that, well, he in there with a live body, dog. Like, he in there with a live animal.
It was a good fight. It was a good fight. He got for me, I don't like Jose Benavidez as a trainer because he got tall fighters that don't use their range. And I felt like he could have went to the body more. If he went to the body earlier, around the 4th or 5th round, I think he could have got Nelson out of there. But I don't think I used to think he beat Mobili. I don't think he beats Mobili. If he can't get Mobili out of there, bro, he gonna wear you out 10, 11, 12.
I disagree. I think that fight, I would pick him to knock out Mobili on the strength of that fight because I view Steven Nelson as a trickier boxer than Christian Mobili. He's trickier. He's light on his feet. He's in and out, and he's trying for a lot of shit. Whereas with Mobili, what you see is what you get. It's good for some shit, but bad for other shit. That, yeah, like some guys, you want to just wail on them. But if you try that with Pacheco, you most definitely gonna walk into some shit. You gonna get hit. Forward.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna get hit, but maybe it's just a testament to Steven Nelson's toughness, but you hit him with some flush shots and you couldn't even put him down. You didn't even drop him. Mobili, I feel like if you can't stop him he gonna wear him down. Like, you got tired off of Steven Nelson, a 36-year-old. Bro, if you can't stop Mobili, you gonna lose. I think you get stopped.
I'll say I understand that because we looking at it different. I'm looking at Steven Nelson and saying, this guy's good. And I guess this is where we disagree that off of what I saw yesterday, I might pick Steven to beat Mobili. I was impressed with Steven.
Oh, yeah, I was too, but I think he lost me. I had it scored 4 after 5, 4 to 3 or 4 to 1. And then Pacheco came on because of his pressure. And then Pacheco came on, and then he won the last 2. So I had it 7-5 for Pacheco. But
that's how I had it, 7-5. Yeah, that's how I had it.
And I feel like if you can't keep mobility, if he don't respect your power, and he hit Nelson clean, uppercuts, hooks, straights, but you never went to the body. You didn't go to there. You didn't go there enough for me. And mobility able to take your power, bro. And I seen you gas. Like, I
I'll
see
say
you
that. I'll
gas.
say this. I don't think. I think for me, a lot of it is centered around Steven Nelson in the sense that Steven rolled punches. He rolled with punches, kind of slip punches, just to take something off of them. I don't see Christian Mobility doing those things. He's gonna do what he does because that's just how pressure fighters are. They're all like that. Like they're gonna apply pressure for better or worse. They're gonna come forward because they don't know another way. And I think that a lot of the tricky shit that Steven Nelson did, Christian not gonna do that shit, dog. He's gonna walk right into some shit and it's gonna be hard. Whereas Steven, I just think, honestly, I just think that dude is durable, dog. It's a
Yeah.
reason Edgar Berlanga ducked him when they was both at Top Rank, bro. It's a reason for that. Like, and I still think he would beat Edgar today. He would beat Edgar.
Oh
The
yeah.
dude I seen yesterday, yeah, he would beat Edgar today.
I think
So
all of them. I think Pacheco would beat him. I will pick mobility to beat him. Steven Nelson, Plant. Plant is the tricky one for me because you was getting ragdolled by that country bumpkin dude that you was fighting the last time. You
yeah,
got
that was crazy.
ragdolled by him.
That was crazy. Now you got to look at him funny because it's like, if Cornpone, what's that dude name? Cornpone Trevor. If Cornpone
Oh,
Trevor,
McCumbee. Yeah.
if he could put you down, even if it was off a glancing shot, it still means what it means. And I'm like, well, you better not get hit by Diego, right?
Yeah.
You better not get hit by Mobili. And Mobili stylistically has the edge in that fight because he's gonna come right at you. He's gonna come right at you. Against Caleb, I would go Mobili. Against Mobili, I would go Diego. And if it's Nelson, I would give Nelson good odds against a lot of these guys that's out here. I would give him good odds, honestly. It's a reason that he was struggling to get fights. You feel me? It's a
And
reason for that.
I was high on Munguia. I like Munguia at 68 until he got knocked out, but
Yeah.
I would still favor Munguia to beat Edgar Berlanga. I'm pretty
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I would
comfortable
too.
with that.
I would too. I'm with that. That like I don't know. I can't completely wrap my mind around what happened with what was his name? Ceviche, Srirache, the French dude. But being real, I do have Munguia winning a rematch. I do think he's gonna knock him out. It could be that he didn't take him serious. You asleep at the wheel. You just being reckless with your shit. It could be those things, but it just bothers me that like, that dude got 4 knockouts, right? Check it out. He got 4 knockouts and he hit hard enough to stop you, bro. Wow.
I think it could have been. I think it was a mixture of things. You had 2 hard fights earlier in the year. You fought 3 times, and then I think you didn't take dude seriously because you was walking through with your hands down, and my big problem was you sapped Freddie Roach. You was using your jab when you was with Freddie, but then you went back to Morales, and bro, like I don't know, like your defense started looking like the old one gear.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, like instantaneously at that, because when you know what they say, you get a new trainer, you don't expect to start seeing a bunch of shit right away. Whereas with him, you started seeing shit right away. He's using his jab, he's setting up his punches, he's not falling in as much, he's not smothering as much. And he was good for like 2 fights because I think he had 2 fights with Freddie. He goes back to Morales, and here we are. The shit they said now is I think Eddie Reynoso is training him now.
Yeah, I seen that, which I expected once Canelo fought him because I think I was at the fight. I think Canelo carried him because at one point he had Munguia rocked and he literally picked him up. And so I'm not surprised by that.
Shout out to Domo. Trevor McCumbee cake. For real, like, we need some more McCumbee action out here, too, though. Shout out to Trevor McCumbee. He's just a fun, weird-ass dude. Like, he one of them dudes you like watching him get his ass beat because you know it's going to be in a fantastic way. So, shout out to Trevor McCumbee, wherever he may be. Jose, what'd you think about Diego yesterday, man? Good, bad, or otherwise? What'd you think?
I was here on your live, man.
No, but what did you think now that you've had time to maybe watch it again or flesh out some of those thoughts?
Well, I actually my thought exactly where they were before. Like, he's a good prospect, if you can give it like a tough fight now, I think he can handle it because he been proven. people can say whatever they want that he gets to green or whatever, but to me, he's ready for a bacon title. Like,
Yeah.
like he can be what's his name, the Cuban ugly fighter,
El cubano ese.
eh, el Chichisco,
William Gray Skull.
Gresco, yeah, Skull, yeah. I think he can beat him.
I want to
And also,
ask this because Edgar's looking at Skull, and I don't know how to feel about that fight. Does Edgar win that fight to y'all?
Who's paying for it? If Eddie's paying for it, he gonna have the judges on the side.
Yeah, so yeah, he better. He
He gonna
better.
have, but
I
if, you,
think
if we talk
Skull.
about go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If it's on a turkey show, I think Skull gonna beat him.
It's not gonna be on the Turkey show. I'll tell you that. It's not. It's gonna be a matchroom show. They talking about bringing Edgar back in. I think March. They said it is. Could be in Puerto Rico. Could be in New York. But off that, you know, it's not a Turkey show. It's a matchroom show.
I'll still go Skull. Berlanga sucks.
He does. No, I mean he doesn't. Like, in reality, he does. What you think about that, Jose? You trust Edgar to get the job done or not? He's too trash.
I mean, I don't gonna say like he doesn't have a chance. He does because he does have power. And if he catches you, he catches you. And Skull is not like he's not Canelo out here. But yeah, I still give Skull the chance to beat him, like
I,
70-30.
I'm gonna go spicy. I'm gonna be spicy with the shit that if Edgar does get this guy, he'll win the fight. Not because he deserves it, but because in Puerto Rico or New York, you already know who's gonna get the consideration. And Cuban fighters don't have the best track record for getting consideration from the judges. That style that the average, because the way that Skull fights is the old school Cuban. He ain't like these young guys like
La finta.
Iglesias or Morell. He got that La Finca style where he points fighting, and I don't think you're gonna get the consideration doing that against Edgar in either New York or especially not in Puerto Rico if his homecoming is in Puerto Rico when you fight him there. I don't see William getting that consideration, so I'm gonna go Edgar. Edgar on points. Hook or by crook, Edgar on
Yeah.
points.
I tell you one thing, that'll be an ugly fight though. That'll be an ugly fight because Edgar can't cut the ring off, and both of them don't throw that much.
Edgar's terrible. Like I don't think Edgar beats nobody at 168, bro. Nobody. But
Yeah.
Manin, ponlo tú. Who's he
No,
gonna
I agree. I'm just being dramatic.
Ponlo tú. Bektemir Melenkuziev. He doesn't beat Bektemir Melenkuziev, bro. El cubano Iglesia. He doesn't beat Iglesia, bro. There's a couple of good guys.
Billy, whatever.
Billy, tú sabes lo que es como Billy. He stands a better chance. Not even that he wins, because he may not win. But Billy's Achilles heel is he's a pressure guy. You know what pressure guys are all about. They're going to stand in front of you. So really any guy that's going to stand in front of somebody, you are giving them the opportunity to land something big, you know? That's the caveat with any pressure guy.
You guys talking about Berlanga?
Berlanga, mierda, la mierda.
La mierda ese, yeah.
La mierda.
Look, you watch the fight with Canelo, you can notice that Berlanga, it's not that it has a bad form. He actually has a nice guard. It's close. It's tight. Pause. But the problem is the IQ. Every time he tries to counter, it's always the same fucking punch. It's a straight right or an overhand right. It's always the same. Now, at world level, the guys are going to figure you out eventually. So that's not going to work. And if you want to push forward, if you want to cut the ring, you are not really good at that either. So I don't think Berlanga beats any of these guys.
But can he beat William Scolio for the IBF? Because that's who he's talking about. Ese tipo no, like el lío con Skull is not going to try for anything. Ya tú sabes, like you already know what he's going to do, bro.
Yeah, but
bailando salsa.
I'll give him a better look to Skull if he actually has something, because maybe you don't like how he boxes, but if he has something good, you have to recognize that he can win on points.
Mierda. I'm gonna go back over to Devontae. I don't know about you guys, but I was thoroughly impressed with Steven Nelson. And what I took away from yesterday's fight is he beats a lot of these guys. If the guy that showed up yesterday was in there with Malakuziev, I would go with Steven to win.
Yeah.
That's 50. That's 50-50.
Malakuziev is ass, bro. Like
He is, but you 36 about to be 37, bro. Like you started off good. Like 1 through 5, he was good. He was good. Like,
yeah,
after that, you started to gas.
Malakuziev got knocked out by Gabriel Rosado, bro.
Yo te voy a decir una vaina también. Let's not act like everybody at 168 is like 6'4" with that length that Pacheco has.
I was gonna allude to that the problems that Diego gave Steven yesterday, right? Everybody's not gonna be able to give Steven those problems. Being fucking 6'4" with a 79-inch wingspan, a lot of the problem was that just like I can't get close enough to him to land. Getting close to him is a fight unto itself. Whereas with a porky dude like Melankuziev, yeah, it's not gonna be that hard to get your punches out because he's not that statuesque guy, and defensively he's not very good either. That dude still does the same shit. Chin still be out there leaping with them hooks. So I would pick Steven to beat him.
And something that I actually like, real quick, it's something I actually like from, a couple of things that I like from him. One, he actually knows how to, hide his chin. And 2, he actually hustled the punch. Like, he actually would look for the punch to land, like, because he was looking for that left hook and he was trying everything. He was trying to, he was pointing on the ground to see if Pacheco got distracted. Like,
yeah,
like everything.
He fought well to me. Leo, go ahead.
No, I do agree with everything you said. And that Vector Bully maybe has power, maybe at the same level that Edgar Berlanga, maybe, but defensively, nah.
Ese tipo es fracaso, man. No sirve. And he's supposed to be this decorated amateur. I heard that he was like the captain of the Uzbek Olympic team, and it's like, yeah, he's just not as a professional who he was as an amateur. I think Steven could beat him. I don't know if you guys are going to agree with this. I told Devontae a couple of minutes ago, I would pick Steven Nelson to beat Christian Mabili. I would pick him to win that fight.
I mean, I can see it. Like, if Derevyanchenko give you a whole bunch of pros with one hand.
Con una mano, manín. With one hand, bro.
Con dos manos te mata.
But Derevyanchenko used angles though too. Derevyanchenko was circling off on him. Steven Nelson gonna do that for 4 or 5 rounds, bro. I don't know if you could like round 6, 7, 8, 9, bro. I don't know if you can
Devontae, is there gonna be around 6, 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, because you lost your pop after round 4. Like you wasn't. I thought you was a bigger puncher than that.
Nelson da duro, man.
The reason I disagree is, once again, it goes back to the dude that he fought. The dude that he fought is such an awkward assignment to be in there with a guy 6'4". It's a fight for you to just get close to him. That's a fight. Then you got to try to land once you get over there. Whereas with Mabili, you don't have to find Mabili. He'll find you. You don't. All that shit you had to deal with yesterday, you don't have to worry about. And Mabili's not that big a super middleweight. Yeah, he brolic, but he's not that big a guy. So he's gonna march right to you.
Another point is, real quick. Another point is, just to follow you, like, since it's a pressure fighter, they don't really do well on the back foot. So I'm not saying that Nelson's gonna do it or he's gonna be able to do it, but if he's able to do it, establish a jab, like, Mabili's done.
No, maning, él puede, because Nelson is not a pressure fighter. He's not a pressure fighter. Steven Nelson is not a pressure fighter. Mabili is, and it's like I could see it, like, bro, you gonna walk in the shit all night. The biggest caveat for Steven, honestly, is that these kinds of fights need to happen now because you're 36. 37 is 37, bro. 37 is 37.
Yeah, and the other thing with Mabili, it's not like he has a glass chin, but he doesn't. I don't think he holds the best punch. The reason that the people don't notice it really is because the motherfucker is crazy. He keeps punching even when he's hurt. But yeah, I have seen a couple of fights on Mabili, and the ones that I have gone to the distance, He has been hurt every time.
Now
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
I agree.
separate there's a separate conversation going on right now. I don't know if y'all seen my video about Eddie Hearn trying to talk shit about Inoue or whatever. Just
Yeah.
things that's happening. And I wanted to ask y'all, let's say Inoue don't fight Mutajan Akhmadaliev. He don't fight him. But he does go up to featherweight and he fights Nick Ball. Is that a duck?
No,
No,
it's the same thing as David Benavidez, bro. You had the belt. You didn't unify with Stephen Fulton. You lost your belt. I mean, it is what it is. If he's going to fight Nick Ball, you lost your chance. You should have held onto your belt when he got to the division.
What do you say, Leo?
The thing with they're talking about the MJ being dogged by Inoue. Okay, so Canelo dogged Skull by dropping the belt. Look, dude, MJ had his chance to fight him. The only thing he had to do is hold that belt, and he lost it. So fuck it. I don't think it. And if that fight was closer in market value, maybe you can say something about that. But there is no comparison. It's the A side around those weights. There is not even a debate. So
Leo, do you think MJ is a better fighter than Nick Ball?
better fighter, yes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a bigger threat because Nick Ball is a weight class above him. So, but we are talking about boxing skills and all.
Yeah, boxing skills. Do you think he's a better fighter?
Yeah, he's a way better fighter than
But not a bigger threat to Inoue, you would say.
No, because Nick Ball is bigger, is really strong, and is in another weight class. So yeah, he is a bigger threat.
You agree with that, Jose?
yes, I do. And
And the other thing is
MJ
Nick
haven't
Ball-
been looking amazing lately.
And the other thing is Nick Ball is tested. That guy has been fighting guys at featherweight. So
También tú sabes lo que pasa también, man. That Inoue is one of those greats, and they're always gonna try to pick something on him. Like,
Eso
oh,
lo
he didn't
que
fight
es.
this guy. Oh, I didn't fight this guy.
Eso es lo que es.
I don't see a big deal because he collected everything. He beat everybody's supposed to be. So who cares if he didn't fight like this guy? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because the MJ shit is irritating me. You know what irritates me about it? Que hace 2 años, nobody gave a fuck about that dude. And nobody, toda esta mierda, toda esta bulla, toda esta peo que you hear right now about MJ. And I'm like, bro, this dude was unified champion for a bean. And no one gave 2 furry fucks about him. So that now, oh, he knew he ducking MJ. Man, get the fuck out of here.
You're right.
Bro.
Nobody cared about this dude wearing like the bison hat.
¿Verdad? He got the fucking beret and shit. Nadie le importaba ese tipo. For him to be the bogeyman, like really, he's the bogeyman now that lost to Marlon Tapales, really.
Tapale no pensó que era eso.
You know what I'm saying?
Tapale lo tapó.
¿Verdad? El tapón. El tapale lo tapó.
Lo
No,
tapó a él.
people have to stop talking about MJ Ahmadali now like he's a champion. He's not a champion. He's a mandatory, and this motherfucker Inoue has been satisfying mandatory for a while.
Sí, otra cosa is the fact that, well, in reality, it would look better if Inoue goes up and Ahmadali stays, because that will be his responsibility to collect all the belts.
No, pero tú sé lo que el otro lío es, and I'm going to take it back to Devontae. You know, he's coming to America to fight Alan Picasso, and those are bad optics because then you say, well, what the fuck did Alan Picasso do to get the fight that MJ didn't do to get the fight? That is MJ not more deserving? And while I am a little bit annoyed with all this MJ bullshit, I do have to look at that and say, yeah, I would honestly prefer if you were coming here to fight MJ, and I would prefer that the next fight be MJ and not Alan.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, ellos están diciendo que él va a venir para Vegas in March or April, one of them days, May or so. They want to bring him here for Alan Picasso, and it's like, manín, for bringing him here para esa mierda, para una pelea que no tiene una historia. It doesn't have
con Picasso, un pajarazo, no me hagas
ese
eso.
tipo. Like, it's like, the thing is, the Picasso kid is actually okay. He's actually okay, but still, you didn't do more than MJ to deserve this fight. So I guess that's what complicates things. What do you think about that, Devontae?
I don't know if he should fight Picasso. Like now, I'm gonna kind of look at you sideways, but again, I don't feel bad for MJ because you had a chance to unify and hold on to your belt. If he fight Inoue at the point with me, he could do whatever he want. I don't care. Like I'm gonna watch. You had your chance.
I'm with that. I agree with that. That he is at that point where look, after you do that, after you do as much as he did, I agree with that. You earned that right to where, yeah, I'm not gonna look at you like you a suspect because nothing about your track record is suspect shit. And he has earned the right to do what he wants. MJ, tough titty, bitch. Like you get the fight, you don't get the fight. I don't know, but tough titty, bro. You was in this weight way before him. Steven Nelson was right there, and let's just be real. While we could say that Steven didn't send no offer to MJ to make the fight, MJ, you ain't send him shit neither. Y'all was just there, not fucking trying to unify or nothing. So it's like, yeah, whatever, bro. You had your chance, bro.
Look,
Jason, what the fuck?
Well, no, I'm at the point now where it's like, are any of you throwing signed autographed T-shirts into the crowd and watching everyone go ape shit? No, none of you. Then shut the fuck up.
Shit is crazy.
No, but the thing is, we have been watching Inoue perform and accept all these challenges and beat all these champions. For me, that's a tell of his character, and he's willing to fight the best. This right now looks more like a business decision that was it's a managerial, it's a promotional issue with MJ in particular, because maybe they want an easy fight for Inoue to come to America and show all his skills. I don't want to take a risk with a guy that I think is more proven. I think is better. I think he's maybe the second best guy in the division after Inoue. So they don't want to take a risk. But I don't, after watching Inoue's track record, I cannot put that on Inoue, telling him no, he's scared. I don't think Inoue is scared of nobody, really.
La otra cuestión, Leo. If they announced it tomorrow, just hypothetically speaking, even though this is a ways out, would you pick Inoue to beat Nick Ball?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
You guys
that's a tough fight, man, for real. I'm not doubting Inoue, but that's not like a walk in the park for Inoue. And Nick is a bit bigger than him and a lot more rugged. So,
not country, you're right. And the thing is, both reminds me a lot of Sean Porter. You can hit that dude with a kitchen sink and he will move nowhere. He'll go nowhere.
I mean, if he can take Inoue's punches, it's gonna be a long night for Inoue.
Oye, el enanito del diablo. He had a fucking eye cut on his last fight. He was kept on going, man. Like the
kept
dude,
on going like a little Energizer bunny, bro. Like he just. Devontae, what do you think? Inoue, Nick Ball, bro. Does Inoue do to him what he does to everybody else?
Yeah, but it won't be to the head. He'll stop him to the body. Because you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there for all his shots. It's the same thing for me with Morell and Benavidez. You're gonna be in front of this dude all fight, and he gonna unleash on you. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to take it all 12.
I'm actually looking forward to that fight, man. Like, I'm gonna buy it. I think it's grossly overpriced. Can't stress that enough. But I am looking forward to that fight. That's gonna be a good fight. Well, let's hope it's a good fight. You guys decided? Are you guys settled in your predictions? Because I know predictions change as the weeks progress. Who's got David Morell?
I got him.
I do. I got him.
Morell for a while. So
Yeah, I got Morell late round stoppage.
Country, don't fucking do that.
What?
You got Morell. You have him.
I told you I had him before, remember?
All right, three. All right, three for Morell.
I got Benavidez by robbery.
The only reason I say that he's going to be a late round stoppage is because if Morell gets into deep waters, he ain't got it because he ain't been there before.
We got three for Morell. Do we have any other Benavidez people in here?
I have it for Benavidez.
Two for
But
Benavidez.
I don't know if it's a stoppage or I don't think he's gonna stop it. I think it's gonna be a decision.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this, and I want to be on record. When people talk about David Benavidez and they see this, it's practically a guy that is just sold. That when I see him, I don't saw only that. I think he moves his head a little bit. I think he counterpunch a little bit. I don't think he's the best of the best counterpuncher or defensive fighter, but he does a little bit of everything. Now, punching power, he doesn't have it. At fucking light heavyweight, no, he doesn't have power. He has speed. He has speed. He has punch selection. He has work rate, at least in the first 6 rounds, but power, he doesn't have it. That's the reason I don't think he's gonna stop him.
Morell has power, bro.
Another thing is, one of the his best punches is the straight on one of those uppercuts, those crazy uppercuts, and everybody knows if your target is smaller than you, you can actually like hook his shin up. Like the way he does, like he looks. Sometimes he carries the people with his hooks, and something that noticed when he fought Bostic is that Bostic wasn't going nowhere. His elbows tight. But the thing
wasn't doing shit. Wasn't doing shit.
No, Bostic literally he just had his guard up, like Claudia against Pacquiao. His guard up, and he was punching, and he was going nowhere. And then on the late rounds, I think it was round 7 or 6. That's when Benavidez started to gas out, and Bostic started to
laying on the ropes, on the ropes, and his work rate went down.
Single shots.
I know Morell has power. That's why I said before that if he got him early, he could take him out. But I got Benavidez,
What?
Because of
Wait, no. Did you, wait a minute.
No.
You said you had Morell.
You just said
you know what? I made a mistake. I meant to say Benavidez.
Okay.
I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nah.
Yo, what the fuck is going?
Yo, Country, I love you, man.
That's some. How do you mistake? How do you mistake Benavidez for Morell, bro? And I said that shit clear.
I'm older than all of you, all right? I made a fucking Freudian slip, all right?
Give country a break. Both guys are called David. So.
But they ain't both called Morell, motherfucker. And he said I got Morell.
No, Jonah, I'm not mad, but I'm just like, I embarrassed myself a little bit because I said the wrong goddamn name, and then everybody's giving me shit for it.
You said it more than once too.
Another small
I know.
thing
I
is
fucked up. Yeah, no, look. Morell doesn't have enough experience. If he gets to the deep waters, that's where David's going to win. If Morell's going to win, it's going to be early. Otherwise, it's going to be David. But I'm going with David Benavidez, late round stoppage or late round.
I agree with you. David is going to win this
Wait a
fight.
minute. The villain has arrived. Villain, I got to tell you something. I've been seeing what you've been doing. You leave that big titty bitch alone because she's got big titties.
First of all, she doesn't. That's a lie.
They're
Those
huge.
things are average at best.
Stop it.
You got to get off that chick's dick. All right, she's not that good looking.
She honestly, yes, she is. Okay, let's just cut the crap and let's just be honest with each other. We're among friends.
That girl's head up. I'm not blowing that girl's head up any more than it is. No, she needs to be shamed. If anything, shame her.
Well, because we were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about it that, and I understand. I understand it can be irritating that now if you open your social media, especially if you're in public, you're bombarded with these images. It's like, well, is everybody a fucking prostitute now? Is everybody a fucking stripper now? Because you can't really get away from this stuff. And it is irritating to a degree. But it's like, look, you the slut. It's your family that got to deal with that shit. It's your kids when you have them that are going to be embarrassed by that shit. Who the fuck do we care?
You just can't validate. You can enjoy, but not validate. That's the argument. I won't validate. I refuse.
You won't validate her parking.
Her what?
Her parking.
No, I'm not going to validate her parking. You're absolutely right.
Bobby Light says, do you feel it's smart for Bud to sit out for a year? I believe look, I'll be honest. It's not that it's smart. There's no way to do this where there's a good plan. Jumping up 2 divisions at the age of 37 for a fighter of Canelo's caliber, there's no angle where I'm going to look at that and say, well, this is a good plan. Everything about it says it's a bad plan. So when you're sitting out, it's like, yeah, that's bad. But let's say you were going to go in there with a 168, a bona fide 168. Well, that could be bad too, because you're 37. And this is you're jumping up 2 divisions. So there's almost no right answer for this thing. He wants to roll the dice. He believes he can do it. He's gambling. But is it a good idea? No, I don't think it's a good idea. Only time can tell us whether or not it's a good idea.
Don't you think that ultimately that this is the last fight? He's not going to fight again because
I don't think. Yeah, I agree.
Win or lose, if he wins the fight, he goes off. He rides off in the sunset, $50 million, whatever. If he loses, he rides off in the sunset with $50 million. And people are like, oh, well, he went up 2 divisions. He's Canelo is an all-time great. They're not going to really hold the loss over his head. I think if he lost somebody at 154. So honestly, I think this is the last time you'll ever see him in the ring again.
If he wins, if Crawford wins, there's going to be a rematch. No question about it.
You think there's going to be a rematch if he wins?
If Bud wins, yeah, there's going to be a rematch.
I don't mind that if he does win. But being realistic, it's like I just feel like you got to. If you're saying you think Bud wins, you're setting aside a lot of things, a lot of realities that are inconvenient truths. That he's 37. The added weight could slow him down. He'll be coming off over a year of inactivity, a year and a month of inactivity. Well, a year because he fought in late August, which is practically September, but it's still a year and he's still 37, and that's still 2 weight classes. And this isn't a guy at 168, some guy. This is not William Skull. It's Canelo. It's fucking Canelo. So
after watching that fight last night, which was a good fight, obviously pulling for the hometown guy, he didn't get it done, but Bud is going to go in the same weight those guys are. And if you've ever seen Bud Crawford in person, that's a lot of fucking weight. I mean, It's just a lot of weight for him to put on to be getting hit by a guy that size and be getting hit by a guy with a granite chin. Man, I don't know. I can't see how it's going to get done.
Now, his only hope is that Canelo finally, the wear and tear makes him old, even though he's younger than Crawford.
Yeah. But the thing is that Canelo hasn't. There are signs that he's getting older. There are signs. His output is not great. His work rate is not great. I mean, I think that's the biggest sign, to be honest, and he does kind of lag in the mid rounds. I think he does it deliberately to take them off so that he has something left for the late rounds. But better still, he does slow down in the mid rounds characteristically. But other than that, I don't see a fighter that's slipping a whole lot, Like, yeah, there's slippage, but not a whole lot, Yeah.
And the punching powers is still there, even in the world rankings. The thing with Canelo is, at that weight, he made the decision to try to bully those guys. And I don't think it's the best decision, but that's the way he wants to fight.
I think he does it because of their height, Leo, because they're so much taller that you have to fight them that way because you're a sitting duck on the outside, so you got to crash the pocket. You got to get close to him.
Look, this is just a feeling, but I have seen Canelo set up some punches and forget all about that and go close range and try to exchange hooks and uppercuts. I'm just like, sometimes the overhead right, the left hook is right there, and Canelo doesn't want to do it. He wants to go toe-to-toe with those guys. And I saw in the fucking John Ryder fight, in the Edgar Berlanga fight, he wants to. I don't think he wants to prove something to himself or maybe the fans that he's still the stronger guy, even if it's little for the weight. Maybe it's that. I don't really know, but I've seen something that Canelo, for example, the boxing that he did against Amir Khan, that he set up that beautiful overhand right. I've seen a couple of opportunities he could do that to some guys, and he doesn't do it. He wants to be in a high guard and exchange punches with those guys, bigger guys, but maybe not stronger than him.
Shout out to Domo. Intrigued to see how patient David Benavidez can be. He'll have to be, because if he leaps in with one of them goofy ass left hooks against someone who has power, style, length, and foot advantage over him, night. I mean, it's not really an earmark of David Benavidez to show poise in a fight. He rushes all these guys basically. That's how he wins. He just comes right at him in a straight line, lets punches go. There's not a lot of nuance to what David does, to be honest with you. And I disagreed with what you said, Leo. I don't see a little bit of everything when he fights. I see a basic bare bones pressure guy with the advantage that he's very big as a pressure guy, but there's not a lot of bells and whistles on there, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I have seen from Dave Benavidez. I have seen him throw up a counter every once in a while. I have seen him slip punches and go under punches every once in a while. The thing that caught the eye for us, if you're gonna say some, is the combination, is the flurry of punches, but I see some difference in him. I don't. When people talk about that, this is just a guy that be throwing punches, combination of punches, moving forward. I don't see it that way.
What happens if he gets knocked out, guys? Before I go take this shit, if he gets knocked out on Saturday, what happens after that?
He doesn't fight in 2 years.
So the same thing that happens anyway.
Jules, I want you to answer a question before you go take a dump.
Okay.
So just to end the Crawford, at least me to end the Crawford Canelo question. The question for the panel is: Does Terrence Crawford get put down for the first time in his career? At least on, is he going to get knocked down, or will he get knocked out? Can I hear what your retort is?
He's gonna get knocked out.
He's never been dropped. He's never been dropped
officially. On paper, he's never been knocked down. But we know what we saw. I'll be honest with you, Villain. My prediction, and I haven't changed it. My prediction until something else, maybe something else will hit me from now till September. But my prediction is Canelo knockout.
So you you not only have Crawford losing, you don't have him going the distance. You have him getting knocked out.
Because
TKO?
of the Madrimov fight, Villain. He got hit with too many right hands in that fight. I'm like, look, dog, I know Madrimov's a good fighter. Yeah, I'm not even holding it against Crawford, but I'm just saying he got hit with a lot of right hands. Canelo has a right hand, bro, and he has a left hook also.
So you have knocked down, but knockout.
Knockout.
Okay. Rest of the panel.
He gets knocked out. He gets knocked out.
Okay, I think that I have said that same thing for a while. Both gets caught with a straight right hand many times, in practically every fight. But the thing that maybe if you watch the fight, you can tell that the people that catch Both with a straight right or an overhead right, they are launching in. Because maybe it's a mistake that fighters like Crawford do, those cerebral fighters that are trying to control the distance, that when a fighter launches in, they get caught sleeping to say, and that's the way. But Canelo doesn't launch with the punches. He plants his foot, and when he has his distance, he goes for it. Now, what Bud is gonna do in the ropes, I don't know, because Bud is gonna get caught in the ropes eventually by Canelo, and he's gonna get hit very hard. I don't know if he's gonna hold. His shin is gonna hold.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to answer your question. I say he gets put out because unlike Jermell, when Bud gets hit, he goes for it. He wants that back. He want to get that back. And then you try to get that back with Canelo. Spence was a good win, and you fought Madrigal, but you ain't fought somebody with just as much as IQ and skill as you have. I don't know where everybody gets that Bud is more skilled than Canelo. I don't think he is. And if you go in there trying to, try to get yours back, you're going to get countered.
Well, beyond that is that he's in there with someone who's more durable than he is, one of the most durable guys in boxing. Like, I keep going back to it, but how many times has that man taken a shot from Triple G point blank, full flush, and just laughed? Like, what? Do we think Bud hits harder than Triple G? No.
And Kovalev.
And Kovalev. So, like, if Bud tries to get his back and get into a firefight, well, Canelo's just gonna laugh. Like, okay, let's do this. Have fun. I know I will.
A much more competitive fight at 147 or 154. I just think I don't think Bud. I mean, Bud spars with Steven Nelson. Steven Nelson, I've watched him fight quite a bit, probably more than everybody on the panel. But you could even see last night he wasn't a big puncher. He's a cumulative puncher. The thing is, I don't think that the Bud has ever been in there with a guy who hits as hard as someone like Canelo does. So even though he's training and fighting against guys at 168, you know, he's never actually been in the ring with not only a guy who's 168 pounds, but the arguably the best 168 pound fighter in the world. If it's a fight at 154, 147, it's definitely a much more competitive fight. You could even see Bud winning the fight. I don't think he can handle he's not going to, unfortunately, I just think he can handle he can't handle the power. I mean, few can. If you look at his last fights, even though Canelo hasn't knocked out, he knocked down Ryder, he knocked down Berlanga, he knocked down Jaime. So even these guys that have been fighting at years at 160, 168, they still end up going down. I just can't see how Bud is able to hold that.
Oh no, he beat the shit out of Ryder, and then let's be honest, he carried Munguia and Berlanga to the finish line.
Yeah, the thing that worries me most about that fight is maybe if Canelo was a little bit more front foot forward and just trying to throw big punches in the way, for example, that Isaac Cruz does, maybe I'd be a little bit less worried. But for me, watching that fight play out, I don't think there is any chance that Bud can hold the center of the ring. He cannot.
No, he's gonna get bullied.
Bud is gonna be in the ropes. He's gonna be in the corner, and he's gonna get hit very hard. And you're a small guy. The fact that guys like Berlanga and John Ryder and all these other guys went the distance with Canelo is because they are super middleweights. Either other way, they get the stop by Canelo.
Yeah.
And you can see how hard Canelo punches. I mean, look at Berlanga. He turned Berlanga into a pure boxer. Like, you ain't never seen Berlanga go from turnbuckle to turnbuckle trying to avoid this dude. And you got Crawford coming up. Bro, you were getting hit by Spence. Spence is way slower than Canelo.
I honestly think it'll be interesting for about a minute. And then after
No,
that,
I think that if Bud stays on his feet, I mean, he could outbox Canelo. Let's be honest. He's as good or a better boxer than Canelo. Now, I wouldn't have said that years ago when Canelo was more active, but Canelo, you know, he doesn't throw as often as he used to. He conserves his energy, but I think that if somehow by the grace of God that Bud can handle his power, there could be interesting spots for him. I mean, he could definitely look good. Now, I don't think he's going to hurt him. That's the thing too, is that, you know, Bud was able to keep people off at 147, 140, and 135. But if anything proves, Matrimov, I mean, I don't feel like he was hurt. I mean, at any point in time in the fight, he might have been affected. But if a guy like that is not being pushed back, then how are you going to have a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who's arguably one of the most durable chins in boxing? How is a guy coming up 2 weight classes gonna do anything to him?
Yeah, that's the real thing. That the Madrimov fight, if he would have breezed through that guy, all of this would be a lot more encouraging. And it's not a knock on him either that he had to work for it, but having to work for it at 154 with him, 168 is a bridge too far. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah,
you know,
the other thing is Madrimov made that fight a chess match. So did Bud, but that was a chess match more than anything. Canelo's not gonna go there looking for a chess match. He's gonna try to cut the ring and he's gonna deliver some heavy artillery. It's gonna be rough for Bud, especially in the corner and in the ropes.
Yeah. Going back to the beginning of the show for the guys that just joined, what did you make of Diego Pacheco yesterday? Did you like what you see? Did you not like what you see?
It
I
was
think
okay.
I think if you can fight on the outside, like with the guy who doesn't have the reach or the height as someone like Nelson, who's adorable, adorable fighter, then yeah. But for somebody who's willing to engage from the inside, that's got better head movement and a little more speed and more power, it's going to be problems. I mean, for him. So if he fights at range, he's in good shape. I mean, he's got those long arms and he can pick his spots, but. Anybody with a little bit of a higher IQ, a little better motor, and more power is definitely going to be a tough night for him for sure. I don't think he's definitely not ready for the top echelon. I mean, I think a guy like Plant would.
What do you think about what do you think about Pacheco Mobili?
Probably not a good matchup. I mean, it's a better matchup than someone like Nelson. I think Mobili would definitely rock him. I mean, if you look at it in the 11-12 round, when you watch the fight, Steven Nelson, a guy who's up there in age, only fights once a year. He landed about 3 or 4 really good shots on him. Yeah. I mean, he had him stumbling. So if you can get a guy like Mobili who's doing that in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, that's a whole different fucking fight, man.
Jason, what do you think about Mobili Pacheco?
I favor Mobili in that. Like Pacheco's
really,
Pacheco's motor is a problem, man. Like, okay, fine, you were losing rounds in the early stages of the Nelson fight because you were trying to get the lay of him, trying to do this, that, yada yada yada. The end of the fight, the last 2 rounds when he was rocking you a little bit, like, bro.
Yeah, but that's implying that Mobili will still be there in round 11 and round 12. I don't think he will be.
So you're saying that Nelson's more durable than like Mobili then?
I absolutely think Steven Nelson is craftier, not just more durable, craftier. He's smart. I think he's a smarter fighter than Mobili. I said it at the top of the show. If it were the Steven Nelson that I saw yesterday and Mobili, I got Nelson. Well, it's not a lot. It's not a whole lot to what Mobili does. He's a pressure guy. You know what he's gonna do.
And he lacks defense too.
Yeah, he gets hit. If Sergey with 1 good hand was giving you fits, what's Diego gonna give you with 2 and all them extra inches? Pause. But you know what I'm saying? And girth.
That is a good point, but I'm just like, if Nelson was affecting you and he isn't the hardest hitter, I just go back to Billy's gonna be able to hit you too, and he is a harder hitter.
I guess will you defer on that? I think Nelson has more single punching power than Nelson. I think Nelson has more single punching power than Mobili. Mobili has to hit you a whole lot to wear you down, and it's because he doesn't have that single punching power.
Do you see Nelson in the ring again? You think?
I would hope so. I mean, if I'm Eddie Hearn, and I said it in a weekend recap, if I'm Eddie Hearn, I arrange something with Steven Nelson if it's me, because you got Edgar targeting the IBF. You've got Edgar's targeting the IBF, Diego's targeting the BO. Why not use Nelson to target the BA or the BC? Why not? You could use him. He's 36, and it's not like he's got a whole lot of offers coming in. So you can get something going with him to where it's like, yeah, I'll use you. I'll use you on some of my shows. He's a good fighter.
Who would you like to see them in there with if you could match him right now, if you were matching him? Who would you put him in there with?
Oh, if it's me, Caleb Plant, because I think Steven Nelson would knock out Caleb Plant. You want my honest opinion, Bill?
Yeah.
I think we saw the number 2 and number 3 super middleweights fight yesterday. I think we saw number 2 and number 3. And the only reason I don't put Jaime in that conversation is, well, bro, you got knocked out by a guy with 4 knockouts.
Nelson's ring IQ, I've watched him fight probably 4 fights. That was the best showing I've ever seen. His ring IQ was really good. I mean, he slowed down in places, but those first 4 rounds, he went in with a plan, and he came back when he was getting pieced up, and he continued to put the foot on the gas in 11th and 12th. I mean, I thought he looked great. I mean, I know a lot of people call him a bum. I honestly think very well.
I thought both of them. When I was done, and I watched it again, like I always do. I had it with my morning coffee. watched it again, and I felt these are the number 2 and number 3 super middleweights in the world. Why? Because I would pick Diego to beat Caleb Plant. I would pick Diego to beat Jaime Munguia. Bro, you just got knocked out by a dude with 4 knockouts. I would pick Diego to beat a lot of guys. And the Steven Nelson that I saw, yeah, I would pick him to beat a lot of those guys too. Like, bro, Caleb Plant got knocked on his ass by Trevor McCumbee. Jaime Munguia got knocked out by a dude with 4 knockouts. Edgar is trash. William Skull, please, bro, with that La Finca bullshit. I think those 2 guys clean up most of super middleweight. Most of it.
Trevor and Nelson would be a good fight.
Yeah. One thing about Pacheco, okay, when you're saying that he got affected by Steven Nelson's punches, dude, if he was getting hit in the later rounds and got hit flush and he went there to get his leg back, and he gets knocked the fuck out, everyone will be clowning him right now. So Pacheco won that fight. And for me, it was clear 7-5. It was a good performance. Now, did he fade in the later rounds? Yeah. I think he lost the last rounds. But
that's how I had it. That's how I had it.
The guy is 23. He's going to get better every fight as long as he keeps winning.
Oh, and the other thing is, what is the expectation? You know, that yes, he did fade in rounds 11 and 12, but this was a harder fight than most every other fight that he's had so far. So there are going to be wrinkles there. What is the expectation? That he has to look flawless? He was in there with a good fighter. Like, yes, Steven. I mean, I said it before the fight. He's not going to look good in this. He's not going to look perfect in this, you know, but he'll win. And he won. So I don't know. I thought they both looked great, to be honest. I don't think Christian Mobili would have stood up to all them right hands that Diego was landing. I don't think he would have. I think he would have went out. And he would have been there for those uppercuts because he comes in at a crouch. Mobili, he comes in at a crouch. He bends at the waist, bends at the knees. He'll be there for them uppercuts where Steven Nelson, you know what, he was crafty. Got out of the way of them shits. So, yeah, I think that was number 2. And number 3 at super middleweight yesterday. That's how I see it.
But you see what I mean, Julius? That's for me a fighter that's one-dimensional. Mobili.
Yeah.
Mobili goes in a high guard, throws a lot of punches, a lot of hooks, a lot of uppercuts, overhand rights. That's it.
Yeah.
That's not the same that Benavidez. Benavidez shows a little more.
A little more than Mobili? I struggle with that. I do. I struggle with that because when you have to conjure up the kind of people that you conjured up, that's what tells the story for me. Whatever you're showing, you need to be in a very advantageous position already to show it. Well, yeah, David Lemieux and Demetrius Andrade, and yeah, Caleb after he's been knocked out. Yeah. Didn't look that way with Bojdik.
We both the first 5 rounds.
That's the thing.
Exactly. To me, he lost 5 of the first 6. Benavidez, you lost 5 of the first 6.
I'm gonna push back on Mobili. I think he's the number 2 super middleweight. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But if you couldn't get rid of a 36-year-old, bro, you're gonna have to throw more.
Wait a minute. You could. Mobili has that indictment. He couldn't get rid of a 36, 37-year-old fucking Derevyanchenko with one arm.
Yeah, I give you that, but Derevyanchenko is a more well-schooled boxer than Steven Nelson.
Nah,
and he's been in with better competition. Jaime, they couldn't get rid of him.
Wait, if we're evaluating the condition of these fighters at the time that these guys fought them, Sergey was much worse for wear when he fought Mobili than Steven Nelson was yesterday. Steven Nelson never lost.
I agree with that, but who got rid of Derevyanchenko?
Who got rid of Steven Nelson?
He ain't fight the same competition. You ain't fighting Triple G's, Jaime Munguias or nothing like that. You ain't fighting. You ain't going through that gauntlet.
But that's the other thing that motherfucker came from middleweight. So you cannot get rid of a motherfucker from middleweight? And you're supposed to be the quick puncher?
Yeah, but he still went through a gauntlet. Like, he's still a more well-schooled boxer than Steven Nelson is.
maybe well schooled. Maybe where we defer is I'm not talking about the nuts and bolts. I'm talking about the physical condition of this fighter. That bro, Sergey done been through the car wash and back, bro. He done been with Jacobs, with fucking Golovkin, with fucking Munguia. Who else beat him? Fucking
Jamal
beat him. Jamal beat him. It's 5. It's like, yeah, like if you can't get rid of a dude with 5 losses going into your shit, yeah, come on, B. Well, what we doing?
And the worst, a guy with 5 losses and 1 arm. That motherfucker was fighting with 1 arm, and he was in a couple of rounds.
He's fighting really well in some rounds.
But he was. I'll give y'all that. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm overestimating.
I think it's not. Look, it's not that Sergey isn't crafty. It's that I don't think you're giving Steven enough credit. That Steven was a hot potato going into that shit too, and I can't stress this enough. Steven would beat a lot of these guys at 168, bro. Yeah, he would.
And the other thing, Derevyanchenko is not young. How old is he?
Bro, that dude is 37.
Derevyanchenko?
He's like 36, 37,
Yeah.
bro. You can look it up. He's not a young guy, bro. So, the same way we could say that, okay, Diego didn't get rid of a 36-year-old Steven Nelson. Bro, Mobility didn't get rid of a 36, 37-year-old Derevyanchenko who's been through the ringer and only had one good hand for a good chunk of that fight. Couldn't get rid
Derevyanchenko
of
was
him.
in the same Olympic class as Usyk and Lomachenko. So he's around the same age as Usyk.
Bro, that dude is old, bro. That dude is old to be getting punched. That's why his face looks like a leather couch.
Yeah, and Mobility couldn't even drop him. He got dropped by Golovkin. He got dropped by fucking
Jacobs.
So would Steven Nelson drop Derevyanchenko?
That'll be. I'll say this. I would pick Steven to win that fight on points. I don't think he gets rid of Derevyanchenko. I don't. That'll be a very evenly fought fight. But right now, I would say that Steven Nelson has more to give than Sergey. Yeah, Sergey's gatekeeper status at this point, bro. He's a gatekeeper.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
Never been dropped.
I've never seen him drop it.
Bro,
I remember. I used to watch him.
He gassed after 5 rounds. He gassed after 5 rounds.
But
bro.
he got his second win. You can't say that he. All right, he gassed. No doubt. But he got his second win in rounds 11 and 12.
Yeah, because Pacheco wasn't throwing a lot, so he got a chance to catch his second win.
But why is Pacheco tired? He's just tired to be tired.
I don't know. I got Mobility beating both of them.
I like Mobility, but that Sergey fight, I didn't like that shit. I didn't like that shit. You should have looked better than that. Old ass dude, 5 losses, 1 hand. You should look better than that. Now, I like Mobility in the sense that I think he's an entertaining fighter to watch. There are guys that I think he can beat. I think Mobility can beat Caleb Plant. Style-wise, it's just not a good style for Caleb Plant. There are guys I think Mobility can beat, but Diego and Steven are not them. He don't beat them. I don't think he beats them.
You picking Steven Nelson over Mobility?
Yes. He's craftier.
Oh, wow.
Bro, Mobility comes
That's
forward.
crazy.
Look. Mobility has 2 plans. Come forward and come forward. The only way it's gonna go, bro.
Let's come forward harder. Those are his plans.
That's the plan, bro.
But okay, I don't know. I don't see Steven Nelson getting rid of him because around 5 or 6, you're gonna start wearing down.
I think Steven can punch, bro. I think you're
I
underrating
don't think he can. I think his power is overrated. I don't think he can.
I'm not going to say that. Not based, especially not based off of yesterday when he's fighting a guy 6'4", long and rangy, always moving. Nah, that's not. The assignment would be completely different. And even if you doubt Steven's power, remember, it's a difference fighting a guy that's moving away and a guy coming forward. Guy coming forward, you could catch him with a lot of that shit that you couldn't land yesterday.
But you're going to have to throw more often. You're going to have to throw more often to keep this guy off of you. And
no, wait a minute. Not if you finish the fucking fight in round 5.
You think he's going to knock him out?
Dude, you're assuming that it's going to go the distance. I don't think it goes the distance. Guys
like
Mobility, as fun as he is to watch, when they go out, they really go out. Why?
I agree with
They
you.
come forward.
It doesn't go the distance, but Nelson don't have that power where he gonna just put him up. No.
I'll tell you
No,
what.
you're absolutely right.
I think T would do to Mobili what Teofimo did to Richard Comey.
Oh, you wildin'.
No, the
Catch
thing
him in
about
between.
Billy,
No, I agree though, because as well as you come, as hard you get stopped, matched by acceleration, physics.
Yeah.
Look, Billy looks formidable, but I have seen him hurt by lesser punchers. I see him hurt in the Gongora fight.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he was hurt a couple times in that fight.
Also, Leo, if you remember, even Derevyanchenko with one hand, he had many counter opportunities because that pull counter of his is horrible. I mean, Derevyanchenko, Mambili has an ugly pull counter that he moves back and stays, but he stays right there.
Look, I could have set Pacheco. I can't have set old boy.
The variety of punches, it's like you got a guy. You know he's going to be in front of you, so you know you can set him up. Being a pressure fighter in and of itself is a tell. So you know the uppercut is going to be available. Well, he's coming in at a slight crouch. He's coming in like this. The uppercut is available. It's available for Steven Nelson. It's available for Diego Pacheco. Like, yeah, I think they ice Mobili. I think they both do.
God damn it.
Pacheco, I'll give you Munición, not Nelson. No. He gets stopped.
Chad just made a comparison here to Mobili, and I can't get out of my head. Like, he's like Jeff Lacey. Like, now I can't get that out of my head. God damn it.
No, but look, Pacheco missed a lot of punches, especially the right hand, this right hand. Why? Because Nelson keep moving away from those punches. You know who's not gonna move away from those punches? Mobili.
He gonna walk into them punches.
I give you he gonna walk into Pacheco punches, but if Pacheco can't stop him early, I think Pacheco gets stopped late too. But Steven Nelson, absolutely not. No.
Nah, I think you give him Mobili way too much credit. Way too much. Too much.
What makes you think so little of Nelson? I mean, he fought a guy who was 15 years younger than him yesterday that he rocked him at least 3 or 4 times in 11, 12 rounds. So I'm just trying to understand, I usually would agree, but you show me a guy at 168 who was more durable. I mean, a 38-year-old guy who fought a guy 15 years younger than him that went 12 rounds that probably could have gone 3 more.
I don't think a lot of guys would have took the shots that Steven took yesterday, being honest. I really don't. He ate a lot of right hands, and he took them shits.
He even said that he had a great chin. It's the first thing he said when he had the interview. He said, the guy's got a great chin. He's durable.
Yeah, but he did. He showed a great beard yesterday, but I also thought Pacheco he should have stepped on the gas earlier. You should have stepped on it and went to his body and everything. You didn't hardly go to the body or anything. You were just sitting back waiting to counter.
I think that was the respect, Devontae. I think Diego had he knew this dude hit hard. I just can't throw any old shit. This dude hit hard and he got a beard. He won't go away.
Not only he hits hard, Jules, he had quick hands, fast hands though. That foot of his was short and crisp. If you notice, Pacheco didn't want to play around too much. As soon as he threw the right hand, he stepped out.
Cervecero says, what next 2 fights would you put Diego in? If it's up to me, and this is a Christmas list, basically. If it's up to me, I'd put him in with Edgar first. If it's up to me, he'll knock Edgar out. And then after that, I would put him in with Munguia. And then he becomes the man to beat at 168. Not named Canelo. He becomes the money man with those 2 victories. But it's un fracaso because that's not going to be the way it happens. Edgar knows. Edgar fucking knows, bro. He just uploaded a list of guys that he wants to fight. And would you believe he named Hamza Shiraz before fucking Diego? This motherfucker knows exactly what he's doing, dog.
Oye esa vaina, él aprendió a hablar árabe antes que español. Can you believe that shit?
I tell you, dog. He knows it. He said he wants a Canelo rematch. Bro, why don't you just go?
Of course you do.
Why don't you just go Go fuck yourself, bro. Like
Pero
Canelo's not giving you a rematch, bro.
Wait.
Muchacho, el diablo
Julius,
loco.
Hamza.
Yes.
Hamza's a middleweight?
Yes. If you go
Why
to
was the-
Edgar's Twitter page right now, he said he uploaded an itemized list of guys that he wants to fight. And at the very bottom of the list is Diego. Before Diego, I want a Canelo rematch. I want Hamza Shiraz. Like, what Shiraz? Shiraz is at middleweight, bro. He's a middleweight.
He
Fuck is
messing around to beat Edgar anyway. I
the other
mean,
shit. That's the other shit. But that showed the pussy shit, though. It's like, see, you was talking that shit yesterday, right? Talking that shit. Now you done put the names of 5 other motherfuckers ahead of Diego. And it can't be because you want to fight him so fucking bad. It can't be. I'm gonna name a motherfucker that's not even in your division. Shout out to Real G.
come on.
Who would be a better trainer for Pacheco? Oh, that's
anyone.
a good question.
Anywhere.
No, I mean, Diego is a bit of a wild card because he exhibits qualities that none of Jose's other fighters exhibit. He shows things that none of them other guys have. But if I had to pick a trainer for him, you know who I'm gonna go to? Manny motherfucking Robles, underrated trainer. Buddy McGirt is another one. I think he would be a good fit for Diego. But I'm not one of the guys saying Diego looked bad. You know, I personally thought he looked great. I thought he looked great. I think you gotta have them hard ass fights with a motherfucker stubborn, because that's when you're gonna develop your boxing. When you can't get rid of the fucking guy.
No, exactly. And like something that we saw is that when he got tired, you saw that he was struggling to pick his hands up when he kept on the shoulder roll, but he was finding ways to how he's landing his own shots. Because also Steve Nelson is fast, accurate, and he's a good boxer, but also he makes adjustments. So he was actually against like a really, really difficult fight. So any other fight, and I don't want to say you're right, like he's the second and third best, not like that. But if anybody else would look easier than this fight, just like when Haney fought Lomachenko, when he fought Prograis, he looked easy as hell.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I think yesterday we saw the number 2 and number 3 super middleweights in the world in the ring. That's how I see it. Billy, let's see if he beats Sajo. Most people are picking him to beat Sajo. Let's see. But I don't even think Sajo is on the level of these two guys, of Diego and Steven. Nah, like he's just a dude that hit hard. That's it. Just a dude that hit hard.
Yeah, just so that Pacheco looked good for a guy that is not developed, really.
For a dude that's 23.
Yeah, but for a guy who's not in his prime, yeah, he looked good.
No, él se ve exactly how somebody's out of Benavidez gym will look.
No, porque you don't see one. Jose Benavidez doesn't show all that shit. Not that he can't, because he can't. You know, he's got he's got shot in the knee or whatever the fuck it is. And David doesn't. Come on, David don't go out around the ring like that. He don't show none of that. Diego's a good fucking fighter, man. Like he's a good fighter. 23,
Yeah.
bro.
Benavidez fights like a guy that has been accustomed to fight little guys.
Yep. That's what his whole aura, that's what the whole thing, that's what it shows, that yeah, you used to being a big guy. That's what it is. That's how you fight. Used to being a
With
big
the-
guy in the ring.
With that statuesque stance.
Yeah, he fights like a fucking monolith, bro. Like one of those fucking Egyptian obelisks and shit. That's how he fights.
He fights like a rock'em sock'em robot. That's exactly what he fights like.
Yeah. There's not a lot to that motherfucker, you know?
Yo también te voy a decir una vaina, though. Even though that I have Benavidez, I think that Morell can catch him when Benavidez, because Benavidez likes to crosswalk. And
Crosses
you
his
know,
feet?
now like he just walks instead of like walking a pendulum, or like, you know, move one foot first and the other one after. He just walks like he's going to, you know, to pick
To
something
grab
out
the
of his
remote,
fridge.
yeah, like he's gonna go get some
Yeah.
cranberry juice and shit.
So that's how he got knocked down after against that dude. What's his name?
Gavril.
Yeah, Garo. Like he wasn't hurt. He just like he got caught out of balance, and a couple of times I think it was in the Bochte fight. Bochte only have to like hit like kind of with his jab, and he was already out of balance.
I mean, like, look, man.
Because that's what Boschit did. Like he was just timing his
I'll
step as
ask
well.
again. If Morell does the unthinkable and he fucking eats the Mexican chalupa, what does the Mexican chalupa do after
Es
that?
que yo te voy a decir una vaina, man. Al Ecuadorian ceviche, I don't, I don't really think it will be that crazy. Because I give Morel a chance. It's not that he doesn't have a chance.
No, it's a catastrophe. Do you know how many? Listen. I got guys that come to this channel for the sole purpose of defending David Benavidez, bro. They hate me. They hate this
Porque tú hablas
channel.
así de Mirage, man. Mirage.
It's not just Mirage. It's Jerry Soriano. It's other guys. I got like a whole little clique of guys that really love David Benavidez, and for some reason they come to this channel.
Okay, hold on.
Wow,
No.
man, the way they.
No,
the way
hold
they
on.
can-
You're
ahead.
telling me Jerry Soriano and Mirage, they're not the same person? What?
You're
Like,
kind of
first
right,
of all,
Leo.
it's the same guy?
We have to do some investigation about this. You're right.
Look, I'm just
One
saying,
guy with 2 accounts.
Do you
Yeah,
know how?
but they
Yo,
are
look, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like I don't see with Mirage. I know some of it is showmanship. I know that some of it is
Yeah.
showmanship. But with Jerry, I'm genuinely afraid for Jerry if David loses, bro. Like I'm scared for him, bro. Like he might not go into work the following Sunday over that shit.
Man,
bro.
you're
He might
gonna see
call
the thread.
out.
You're gonna see the thread on Twitter, man. Like you,
I'm trying to tell
You
you,
do-
yo.
you do the hang himself with some shoelace.
I'm genuinely afraid. And the other thing is that for the PBC, our friends at the PBC, yeah, that's a catastrophe because that's one of the last few flagship fighters that they have left. If he loses, all you got is Javante.
Mira, yo te voy a decir una vaina. David Benavidez is hella fun to fight. Nobody can say that he's not. But I don't wanna say also like he's like these, the last piece of cheese from the fridge. You know what I mean? Like he's just not.
Bro,
Like,
he's that last avocado that's kind of bad, but it's the only one, so you got to use it for the
Nah, tú le
salad.
quitas los pedacitos malos.
Yeah, like he's that piece of end bread that has a little bit of mold, and you got to cut it off.
You just going around,
You know what I'm saying? Keep around that shit. Peter says, I always watch the relays. Keep that up. I just joined the boxing gym a few weeks ago just for the workout. I'd recommend it to anyone. Great workouts. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Peter. Donald Banks says, Morell said all Benavidez do is eat tacos. He's carnitas too, bro. He's fajitas. He's burritos. He eat a lot of shit.
Ceviche, él come
He's gonna have to get
ceviche.
used to putting fries in the bag after he loses to Morel.
He eat taco sideways. Fuck that dude.
Bro,
Does
the shit is-
does everybody have? Excuse me. Does everybody have Benavidez winning this fight?
I do.
Yeah, me.
I do.
But I'm hedging. What I'm really doing is hedging my bullshit because David Morell. I'm hedging my bullshit because you know that I don't like David Benavidez, villain. You know that. But
Oh,
I
you
can't
never
let I can't let my personal preferences allow me to ignore that David Morell hasn't gone the distance very much. And he only has 11 fights going into this thing. So even if you have some of the right ingredients, you got the right style, good size, good physical dimensions, good power, good boxing, I can't just trust you after 11 fights. That's all he has is 11 fights.
Let's see because David Benavidez still looks kind of pudgy.
Yeah. I mean, this is really the battle of the pads, bro, because who's using the better stuff? Is it David or David?
No, pero es que when Morel walks around, he looks like a baseball player. When David Benavidez walks around, he looks like the Cookie Monster.
Honestly, yeah, he
Parece
does
un
look like he
caldero,
plays.
yo.
No, de verdad, he looks like he plays for the Yankees, David Morell. If you put a hat on this guy, you'll never know. Hat and some pinstripes, you'll
Nah,
never
¿tú
fucking know,
crees
bro.
que Soto, el que filmó the Mets?
He's gonna fucking Mariano Rivera, bro. He's gonna look like Mariano. He's gonna look like Mariano, bro. El Duque.
He's Cuban too.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be surprised honestly if Morel won though. My main concern is that Benavidez has more fights, but he looks normal to me at 160 or 175. He just looks normal. The power. A guy who's fighting a guy who's 37 years of age, stopped boxing for a couple years, fought a couple of ham and eggers, and he was battling a dude. He looked he didn't look championship level in that last fight. If that's any sort of representation of what this fight is going to be,
Absolutely.
I was sorely disappointed in his performance at 175.
Look,
And
look,
Morell-
I said it the night of. Anthony Yard. It is not a foregone conclusion that David Benavidez would make it past Anthony Yard, let alone the two top-tier, top-shelf dudes. I'm
Listen,
convinced
I'm gonna
he
tell you
doesn't
something
beat
though.
them.
People sleep on Anthony Yard, man. Like I think he's the best, one of the best fighters who never won a belt right now. Like, he's a problem. Like there's nobody on has fought him that he has an easy fight with him.
Nah, honestly. I mean, Kovalev struggled. Lyndon Arthurs. Well, Lyndon, it's like, I'm not in the business of making excuses for fighters, but if you know what Anthony was dealing with at that time, there's a death in the family, a lot of shit going on. You could understand like why he looked that way with that dude. His mind probably wasn't even on boxing. But it's like, I look at a guy like Anthony Yard. This is a bona fide light heavyweight. Punches hard, mixes it up on the inside. I don't think David Benavidez can bully him. Like, nah, if you open up, he's going to open up, and it's going to be a gunfight. I don't think you have the bigger guns. You're just younger.
And here's the thing: when Morell went up to 175 to face against a very good light heavyweight, while he didn't look super impressive, he at least stayed in character. Single punches hurt him a little bit. Clearly won the fight. Whereas with the Voshtik fight,
I think people willfully exaggerate. It's like, yes, Morell looked bad towards the end of the fight. He looked like, he didn't look too good towards the end of his fight. But I didn't have a doubt in my mind that he won. Like, he won. Like, he won. He just looked a little bit bad towards the end. Whereas they've been, I'm sorry, like, I don't know what the fuck going on. Like, that's where we at, dog. It's narratives on top of narratives on top of narratives. Let's pretend that Morell looked horrible, but David looked fucking amazing, gassing out and getting tired and laying on the ropes. Let's just pretend like we don't see this shit.
When he was throwing punches with his mouth open and shit.
For real. Face all bruised up, hands up. But let's just pretend, because we got to stay on this train. Cervecero said Diego will look better at 27 than Benavidez does. I agree with that.
The thing is I'm always skeptical of any fighter who gains a lot of weight and then has to shrink down. Because if you look at it, Broner had that problem like later in his career, if you want to call it that, what at the end was his career. Even Spence. So if you look at a guy, when guys gain a lot of weight and they have to come back down, I think that's difficult on the body. If you do it every once in a while, it's a one thing. But if you're known to do that, I think that's always going to make you a weaker fighter. And as your age progresses, it's going to make you a worse and worse fighter. And for a guy like Morell, who tends to, like you said, looks like he's an outfielder for the Yankees.
Yeah.
That guy, that just bodes better for someone than like Benavidez.
I mean, Morell, that was a great parallel from fucking. It would be the Dominican guy on the panel, by the way. But the guy does look like a fucking baseball player, dog. He does. Like if you put him in pinstripes and a Yankee hat, you can't tell him apart, bro. He's in Yankee Stadium. He's playing the game. He does look like a baseball player.
You don't have to go that far. You just put him a Yankee hat backwards. That's it.
David Benavidez, he looks like a bag of water. Just looks like a bag of water with a goldfish in it, bro.
The other thing is when a fighter fluctuates a lot in weight, that's never going to be just food. That's an indicator that you're partying too much for a professional athlete. That was a problem for Spence, for Edgar Berlanga. I think Benavidez has the same problem.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the easiest way, I haven't drank in probably like 3 weeks. I'm on a diet. And since I stopped drinking and like cut out sugars, bam, that way is like losing weight quick. But yeah, you are right. Those guys like to party, so that's a good correlate. That if you're putting all that alcohol in your body, all those empty calories, and then obviously poor eating the days after if you're hungover or whatever, that's absolutely terrible for an athlete. Terrible.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
We know that he drinks too, because he was. What was the fight where he was drunk out of his mind and they had him on
do
camera?
an interview.
Yeah. Remember, he's like, no, and I'm gonna get him because
Well, he wouldn't like. He couldn't even sort of talk. I mean, he was like slurring his words bad.
I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, what I'm saying is a fighter. a fighter gaining a lot of weight between fights is not just you're just eating, you're relaxing.
Yeah.
So if you're relaxing, you're gonna do other shit like you know the Abies likes to party hard.
He likes to sniff.
Yeah.
He likes to ski. He's on the slopes. You know what I'm saying? He's on the slopes. But for you, you know what the thing is? It wasn't encouraging because you're between fights. We already see you get huge. For you to be inebriated to the point that he was, you're a professional athlete, bro. You don't hold yourself to any kind of standard. You're on camera. I'm gonna get him. David Benavidez. Gonna get him. It's like, bro.
Also, like if you notice, he was spitting all over the reporters, Mike.
And
So you can see the saliva like all over the camera.
Poor report. Oh. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh,
That shit is crazy.
you can actually see when he was blinking. Like that's how drunk he was. Like
Fucking like that. You know what I'm saying? Look like
I don't
he's
know,
walking
the
the
right
ring,
hand.
bro.
And, I'm sorry.
You gotta get in a high guard when you do an interview with him, bro. You gotta get in a high guard, bro.
Yeah,
Also, the
and-
cup was
and
spilling all over the place too.
And for me, that's crazy that a professional athlete goes to a public event drunk. It's like if I'm gonna relax, if I'm gonna be like in a vacation or something like that, I'm gonna be in a resort drunk. Yeah, we're gonna take me a week or something like that. I'm not gonna
But
be
not
in a
in
public
public.
event. No,
You know what happens, Leo, too? And I can tell you by for experience that there are two different type of boxers. There are the boxers that they love the craft, and there are the bully guy. You know what I mean? The guy trying to be tough, that fight anybody, just because he knows how to box. And he strikes me like somebody like that.
Yeah,
He
Ironically
ain't no
enough,
bitch. Don't get it. He ain't no bitch. Don't get it twisted. Like I can tell he likes to fight even on
no,
the
he'll
streets, but
fight. I mean, he'll fight, but it is a bully thing. And the problem with being a bully is the expiration date usually comes around sooner than you think. Like, how many
Hasta que el
bully
pendejo quiere.
fighters? How many bully fighters actually showed longevity? That when you think about those fighters that they lasted a long time, none of them were bullies. None of them. None of them. The ones that showed longevity year after year after, yeah, they weren't bullies. A lot of them were thinkers. The bully style tends to expire much sooner than the others.
Well,
And some might try to force feed a bully style on other fighters like Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran wasn't a bully. I mean, he was
No,
scary, but-
no. Wait a minute. He was a bully, but he's Duran. He's not. We can't use him as the. How many lightweights are going to become champions at welter?
Middleweight.
How many of them are going to be able to compete with the number one middleweight in the world at the time?
No,
he's not
but
a
if you
good
go to his
example.
record, you can see he even compete at 175 and won a couple of fights.
Yeah,
There-
but that's
there
he's
is-
an exceptional fighter. Like we
Yeah.
can't use him as an example.
But I don't gonna
There
say he
is-
was a bully. He was more of like a tactical he had more like a tactical aggression.
aggression.
Go ahead, Leo.
There's a difference between a bully style of boxing and a bully mentality. Because if we're talking about a bully mentality, there is a couple of them that have been long in the tube. For example, James Toney, that one fucking
Yeah.
was mean.
Yeah. But he wasn't a bully style fighter though.
No style.
Es que también Durán peleaba con rabia. Like he went to fight. He used...
Yeah, he want to fight. He doesn't like. He doesn't want to box. He want to fight. He want to
And
fight.
the thing is, he used to fight with so much rage and at the same time with so much art, bro. Like, man, he's one of my favorite fighters to watch on film.
Fucking Duran.
Duran
bro.
didn't do a sidestep in his world career.
No, Duran
That's crazy.
was about that action. Shout out to Domo. They be writing fan fiction about David because they want to force him into America's Next Star. Indeed, of him fighting if needed to in 2017 and 2019. Yeah, man.
Fan fiction.
Damn.
That's,
Fan
Another-
fiction, bro.
that's so accurate.
Another thing about Durán is like there was no many fight. You see like a lot of scratches on his face.
Bro, at this
Almost none.
point, they got him joining the fucking Avengers, bro. He's there with Nick Fury and shit, man. This is crazy. Crypto the
Well,
dog and all of that.
And so some motherfuckers have been doing fan fiction about David Benavidez and Gervonta Davis like those Fabio novels.
Bro, exactly. Like Gervonta Davis is basically, in a nutshell, his whole career is fan fiction. He'll be fighting Joe Blow from 130. Bro, he would beat Duran. Meanwhile, he's fighting fucking guy from 130, bro.
Pero a Kevin
Fucking-
Durant, ¿verdad? Porque
Tiene que ser because it wouldn't have been Roberto. It must be him. What I'm saying, shit is crazy out here, B. But I am gonna buy the stupid fucking pay-per-view because I'm a fucking moron. I am gonna buy David Benavidez's pay-per-view. I think Brandon and Stephen Fulton are fighting on that show, right? That's the one where they're fighting. I got Brandon knocking them out.
I got B-Fig, as Country says.
B-Fig. Country came up with that shit himself. It sounds like something you install in an Amazon TV or something. Put the B-Fig in the slot.
His name, Brandon Figueroa, so I called him B-Fig. What's the big deal?
No, B-Fig sounds like some shit that comes in an IKEA furniture set. Use the B-Fig to install the drawer. Shout out to B-Fig. But yeah, I think he's gonna keep. His WBC title. For him, it's obvious that he needs to change his decorum because after this Stephen Fulton fight, there's nothing over there for you, bro. There's nothing. There's nothing to do. There's nobody to fight. There's nothing. So we'll see what he does after that.
And this is a reality that could happen. And I don't know if you guys answered this question or not. But if Benavidez loses, what does he do? And I want to hear he won't fight. I mean, how do they maneuver his career? I mean, because they have him on the road to be, in my opinion, trying to make him the guy who replaces Canelo, right? If he loses to a guy with 11 wins, who's not a name. I mean, we know who the guy is, but the general public has no clue who the guy is. How do they maneuver his career after that?
I mean, I think that there's what he should do, and then there's what he will do. So what he should do in the event of a loss, someone who can rebuild him and market him to the people that will support him. You need to go to Oscar. Win or lose, you need to go to Oscar. Even if you win on Saturday, you need to go to Oscar. If you're trying to extend your career and have a long career, you need to go to Oscar. You need to go to Golden Boy because he's always had the inside track with the West Coast fans and the Southwest fans. He's always had a good rapport with them, Golden Boy. So that's what you should do, win or lose. But it's just like Leo said that, that guy could lose and just fuck off for 2 years. He might. I don't rule that out, bro.
Does he come back as a heavyweight then? I mean, he'll be big as fuck.
Do you remember what Errol Spence said? That I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yep.
For David Benavidez, it's the reverse. He's here for a long time, not a good one.
That sounds accurate, man.
He could come back as a really out of shape cruiserweight. He could do that. I mean, it's hard to look. The thing is that who you are really is tested by the adversity you face. It's the old proverb: "Fair weather never made a good captain." We used to say that in the Navy in the 1800s. When I was on your planet, and I don't know that David has the intestinal fortitude to come back from a loss when the hype ends. It takes special guys to do that. Now, I don't know that he has that.
No, his entire career has been based on him trying to be undefeated. He's one of those guys in that mold. His entire personality is, I'm undefeated. Once you're no longer undefeated, look at Keith Thurman.
I was going to say that at this point, I'm hoping for the 4 years, Keith Thurman versus David Benavidez at 180 or something like that.
No, I mean, that'll be a good fight 4 years from now. Keith Thurman? Bro, all he's going to have is eyebrows by then.
No, even those are receding.
Oh, my God.
Receding eyebrows.
Somewhere in Florida playing his flute, man. In a fight.
But yeah, because there are fighters, there are guys that they'll lose, and it's like it didn't even happen. A Ray Beltran, a Ricky Burns, and they don't fucking care, A Jose Zepeda doesn't fucking care. It doesn't matter. Whereas when you've been put on a pedestal and then you get knocked off of it, the descent is much more impactful, you know, because that you're supposed to be the Mexican monster, the Ecuadorian Sasquatch. And who are you if you can't be that character anymore? Then who are you? You're just Fat David. Fat David and his man tits.
He who must not be named is already in the chat going, imagine I'm trying to be undefeated, shameless. Like, motherfucker,
Imagine if
Inoue loses next week. Do you think he stops being Inoue? You dumb motherfucker.
I already saw him, David Benavidez. I could hear him in my mind. Imagine David Benavidez. I knew he was there. I could sense him like spider sense.
If you say his name one more time, he's gonna pop out. Oh,
I'm trying to.
I see.
If I say his name 3 times, Mirage is gonna pop up on my television, bro. David Benavidez.
David Benavidez, Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Wow, if David loses, if Benavidez loses, it's gonna be something crazy like David Benavidez versus Erislandy Lara at like heavyweight or something like that.
No, he's gonna open up a fucking T-Mobile, bro, and work out of that shit, bro. These PBC guys can't lose and be normal. Any other guy, they lose and they're all right. These PBC guys, bro, they lose one fight. It's a wrap, bro. It's over. It's done. You know? Domo said, imagine taking all that Vegas fighter shit to get smoked by an 11-0 prospect. But I'm telling you, I can't wait for Saturday, dog. I would love to be wrong, man. That's why I'm hedging my own bullshit that, look, I don't like David. I don't think he's good. But I'm not going to let that influence what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go with David Benavidez off of experience, that he has a lot more rounds in the bank, and his quality of competition is still better than David Morell's. But if David Morell wants to surprise me, I am not against that at all. Not against that at all. Surprise me.
Mirage and Jerry are gonna have a battle with each other over who gets him after, you know.
Bro, they're gonna meet on Mount Kilimanjaro, dicks out, and have a sword fight, bro.
Mirage disappears. He'll never be heard from again. If he loses, we'll never see Mirage
from his heart
again.
I'm telling
It's gonna be like
bro,
Highlander. Like there could be only one.
you fucking Star Wars, bro.
Benavidez only can have one man.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's fucking his lightsaber. He's gonna pull out his lightsaber. It's gonna be fucking crazy, bro. They're gonna televise this shit.
Jerry's gonna be there, but why?
You know what I'm saying? Let him cook.
Hey, what do you guys think about when Mercado was acting crazy on the ring?
You talking about Mercado, the young guy, or Mercado Sutillo?
El chamaquito.
I mean, you know, he's just trying to get relevant is all that was. He's just trying to get relevant. That's all. And I don't even blame him. Like, you got to play that game to an extent. You have to play that game, you know.
Like that's the thing. Like I got what he was doing. He was calling out people for like underneath his division. Like Checo division, even Checo Steven was laughing. Like, man, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's just trying to do his thing. Benavidez will be at Riyadh 2/22 for Bivol Better Beef. WBC has mandated Benavidez Morell winner to face the. Yeah, I know all that already, bro. Like, I don't know what Riyadh. Like, I know all that. Like, yeah, I saw the same news you did. That doesn't mean that fight is gonna happen. He's a Vegas fighter, Jerry. Didn't you hear that shit? He's a Vegas fighter, bro.
Has anybody checked on Jose Pedraza? Is he still alive?
I mean, you know,
he's got to retire. I mean,
he's just got to be inside a beef patty right now. Like,
Jesus Christ, just awful.
Bro,
that guy.
He's in he's in those little cryogenic chambers, except instead of just ice, he's surrounded by beef patty meat.
Yeah, we heal differently, bro. Us Caribbean people, we heal differently. Just get the beef patty out. He'll be all right, man. They'll probably use him for another show.
For what? He's a punching bag. He's 0-4-1 in his last 5 fights. The guy
speed bag, bro.
Retire.
He's a speed bag. But can you imagine if I can't imagine what Jerry's gonna feel like if fucking. I can't wait for Saturday. That's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Because if David loses, bro, I told y'all, Mirage is gonna walk naked into the outback, and we're never gonna hear from him again. You know, he's just gonna die out there. Jerry, I don't know what Jerry's gonna do.
Does Jerry justify the loss? Does he come back? Or we hear him across all the channels?
Nah,
somehow
Jerry,
it's a conspiracy.
No, he's gonna move. You know what Jerry's gonna do? Because he's in New York right now. He's gonna move to fucking New Jersey. We're not gonna hear from this guy for a year, and then he's just gonna get behind some other shitty boxer that isn't good and just start the cycle all over it all again. You know, get
No,
behind
if-
some
if he
other fucking
loses,
hype job.
If he loses, they're gonna say David Benavidez was daring to be great, or something
By
like
fighting, by
that. By
fighting
fighting
Noah.
11-0
Pretty much.
The other question that I gotta. So why do people keep still talking about Canelo versus Benavidez?
Because
I
they
don't
don't like
think-
the arrangement, Villain. They don't look. This whole thing about David being at light heavyweight, they never wanted that. They never liked that. Underneath all of Mirage's bullshit and Jerry's bullshit, they don't want David to be in the conversation for a Benavidez or Bivol fight. That's not what they want. That it makes them nervous. That's why they're keeping the Canelo conversation alive, because that's what they would prefer.
But in any way, there's no way that Fat Boy can get down to 168, and there's no way that Canelo's going to fight at 175 again. So why do they think that fight will ever fucking happen?
It's a coping mechanism, bro. That's all it is. It's a coping. It's like a nervous tick, you know. It's like boxing Tourette's. Like they're just dealing with the shit. Yeah, because it's a coping mechanism, bro. Like that's what it is. Like, bro, it's clear that okay, that ship has sailed, guys. That conversation is dead, but they're the ones that are keeping it alive. You know.
And the fucked up thing about that fighting the winner of Bivol versus Beterbiev or the loser is, look, there was a time when Bivol and Beterbiev there wasn't any money fighting them, and still there were people fighting them. You have your Joe Smith Jr., your even fucking whatchamacallit, the
Marcus
guy
Brown, Joe Smith Jr.,
yeah, all
Anthony
these guys.
Yard, Callum Smith. There were guys who were stepping up to the plate before Turkey came in with a boatload of cash.
Yeah, and the thing now is different. There is money on fighting those guys. So I don't think there is an excuse.
No, listen. This is what you need to do for me to let you on this panel, Jerry, and I'm deadly serious. I'm in the level with you because I'm not a bad guy. I'm a really fucking good guy. I like to help people. You send me $50 American, I'll let you on the panel. I'm not gonna round it up to 100. $50 American, you're on this panel.
Now let's because I just want to make sure that I'm the one arbitrating this. Now $50 American, he's on the panel. Is that bullshit? Where he's on the panel for 3 minutes and you kick him, or does he actually get to be on the panel for the entire show?
No, he gets to be on the panel. We get together. We make a lasagna. It's all fun in the sun.
Okay, so it's not one of those "haha, I got your money, fuck you" things.
No, I wouldn't do him like that. He's
I'm
a
just
fellow
making
New
sure.
Yorker. He's a fellow. I wouldn't do him like that. I would
just-
suffer through his bullshit for $50. But what I will not do is suffer through it for free. I will
Okay.
not.
Well, you hear it, Jerry. Those are the rules.
You know, you send me $50 American. Hey, man, it's all fun in the sun.
You'll suffer through my bullshit for free. You do love me, Jules.
Well, at least you
I
saw
will
the fucking light. You know, you saw the fucking. That's what you gotta love about Jason. He was on the Fury train, but he saw the bullshit for what the fuck it was. Yeah, a lot of bullshit. You know. So you send me $50 American, Jerry. You are in there like swimwear, bro. But I will not endure that bullshit for free. Well, not for free because nothing is really free, but yeah, $50 right now.
I will give him my spot in the panel.
No, you got to sit through this shit because I'm gonna have you talk to him more than I do. I'm just gonna sit here and listen.
I will not. I'm not getting any money, so I will leave. I'm not willing to.
Like you better send me some of that $50, bitch.
Will you be sober if he's on the panel? Do we get sober or drunk, Jules?
No, you know that in all likelihood I will be drunk. It's like a toothache, bro. Like, yeah, I got to deal with this somehow, you know? Let's deal
if
with
you
it.
do, so just hypothetically, if it does happen,
Oh, no.
you're going to be drunk and you'll do one of those four. And if he loses, so if he loses and you're hammered, you'll be up to 4 a.m. telling stories.
Fuck yeah, just like before. Jerry said, easy work. Chat, come ready to spend some cash. $50, Jerry. Fuck yeah.
What
Fucking do it.
LHC means?
I have no idea. I'm just trying to get him to some money. Domo said, I'll chip in on Jerry's spot if he agrees to speak on the inside tone if David loses. Yeah, man, like he can, like in fairness, this Saturday coming up, if Jerry wants to join in the action, yeah, $50, bro, cover charge. You can join the panel. We can watch the fight together, trade lasagna recipes, all types of good fun stuff. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna buy some beer. Because I haven't had some beer with a fight in a while. But in fairness, we haven't been getting cards with regularity in some weeks. So I'm gonna buy a case of beer for this weekend. God, that's a shitty undercard though, man. God. Isaac Cruz, Angel Fierro. Give me a
More
break.
reason to be drunk.
Yeah, that's what the beer is for. Fuck, dog. But I'm gonna buy it. I am gonna buy it. I'm not gonna steal it. I'm gonna buy it. I want to watch it. I want to know what happens. So I'm gonna buy it.
Julio's gonna be passed out at the second fight.
No, I'll just pace myself. I'll make sure that I don't go past. I'll make it 2 Coronas an hour just to stay on the safe side. Just to stay on the safe side. Down 2 Coronas an hour, I should be okay. 3 hour live, 6 Coronas, should be okay.
You're gonna say something for the later rounds, okay?
Yeah, I gotta save some, in case, in case. But I ain't gonna lie, man. If David Benavidez gets knocked out, man, oh my God, the sights and sounds, crazy, bro, crazy. On that note, I'm gonna fucking go to sleep. Fucking tired. Did I read the super chat? I'll chip in on Jerry's spot if he agrees to speak in an inside tone if David loses. Yeah, man.
Don't forget this. Yeah, we gotta let him know. TBV, he's the TBV MVP. Look at that.
I swept all 2024 TBV awards in 7 months. Firestorm. What are the TBV awards?
The boxing voice. They had like Caller of the Year, Jerk Off.
Oh,
the year,
really?
Delusional. fan
Jerry,
of the year.
congratulations. No, Jerry, congratulations. No, I mean, fuck it. Like, that's fucking great, man. Fucking yeah.
Something, I guess.
No, it's good shit. I mean, look, at the end of the day, boxing wouldn't be fun without fans like Jerry, and that's just the reality of it. Somebody's got to be passionate about the David Benavidez of the world because we're not. So, this keeps things interesting. It keeps little rivalries and shit. It's fucking great, So I'm gonna go to sleep. Probably go live again on Tuesday to talk more shit. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Have a good
Have a
night.
good night,
Nos vemos. Fuck you,
Everyone.
Julius.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.